Hello students, I welcome you all in Industrial Chemistry class. Students, in previous lecture we have discussed about the manufacture of sulfuric acid by contact process. We have seen is that there are two processes to manufacture the sulfuric acid. One is a lead chamber process and contact process. And we have discussed that lead chamber process is the old process and contact process is the new process. In that one we have discussed that contact process is mainly divided into three parts. There is a preparation of SO2 from sulfur or thiolate, preparation of SO2 from sulfur or thiolate, and second one we have discussed that conversion of SO2 to SO3 using platinized asbestos or vanadium pentoxide catalyst. And third step involves conversion of SO3 to H2SO4 by adding concentrated H2SO4. It gives H2S2O7. Further on reaction with H2O, it gives H2SO4. So basically these three main steps are involved in the contact process, and we have discussed that essentially it works like this: sulfur or pyrite, we use SO2. Step 2, it gives SO3. Step 3, it gives H2SO4. Fine. So basically this way the reaction takes place, and this is nothing but these are the steps involved in the contact process. Contact process is again mainly divided into 5 parts. First is burner, second is purifying unit, third is thin down box, fourth is contact converter, and fifth is absorption unit. We have discussed that in burner, sulfur or pyrite at high temperature, on reacting with a pure oxygen, it gives SO2. At the same time it gives a traces amount of SO3. Then this SO2 and SO3 is passed into this purifying unit, and we have seen is that there are 4 chambers, 4 reactors are there, 4 reacting chambers are there, by which we purify this SO2. In first chamber, drying chamber, these reacting gases pass into drying chamber, and from the top of the chamber steam is introduced, so that whatever dust particles are present in the reaction gases, it gets settled down with the steam. Further, it passed into the or scrubber, where in second chamber water is flows down, where whatever SO3 is formed in first reaction, SO3 as I told you, it forms in first chamber acid fog. So this acid fog gets absorbed in the second chamber. Then third, it is passed into drying tower, in which whatever moisture is present in the reaction gases, in that chamber concentrated H2SO4 is introduced, so that whatever moisture is in the reaction gases gets separated out or separates out from the reaction gases. Then this pure SO2 is passed into arsenic tower or arsenic purifier, in which in that state ferric oxide is used to purify the arsenic impurities. So whatever arsenic impurities comes from the pyrite, it gets separated in the arsenic tower. Further, after purifying this gas, free from dust, free from arsenic oxide and other metal impurities, it is passed into Tyndall box. Students, keep in mind, Tyndall box is nothing but it's a one darkened box. In that, strong beam of light is passed against the flow of the gases. If dust particle is present or any other impurity is present in the SO2, light deflects, light gets scattered. If light gets deflected or scattered, then it indicates that there is a dust or metal impurities, arsenic impurities are present in the reaction gases. If these impurities are found, then these gases are passed into purifying unit in dust chamber again to purify it. If dust particle and arsenic impurities are absent, then it is passed into contact converter. Students, keep in mind that yesterday I have discussed that before passing the reaction gases into contact converter, it is passed into preheater to heat the gases before the reaction, because reaction is exothermic and the reaction takes place directly in the contact converter, reaction becomes uncontrollable because reaction is exothermic. So gases are preheated before the reaction, then passed into contact converter. Contact converter consists iron pipes which is loaded with platinous asbestos or vanadium pentoxide, where oxidation of SO2 to SO3 takes place. Once SO2 to SO3 corrosion happens, it is that SO3 is passed into absorption unit. While doing all this process, percentage of air and SO2 is carefully maintained from the burner, because according to the catalyst, flow of the SO2 is maintained. If platinous asbestos is present in the reaction, then 10% of SO2 is passed in the reaction, and if vanadium pentoxide catalyst is used in the reaction, then 7 to 8% SO2 is passed from the chamber in contact converter. In absorption unit, instead of, as I told you yesterday, instead of H2SO4, instead of water, H2SO4 is added in the absorption unit, because it forms, when water is added in absorption unit, it forms, yesterday I have discussed this thing, it forms this acid fog or acid mist, and this is nothing but something like this. This is called as acid fog or acid mist. This is layer of H2SO4 and this is layer of steam. If you observe this figure, there are unreacted SO3 gas droplets are present in this mist. So actually it decreases the yield of H2SO4, because whole SO3 or all the SO3 is not involved in the reaction, and it forms mist or fog like this. So So it decreases the ultimate yield of H2SO4 and it gives impure H2SO4 also. To avoid this problem in the reaction, SO3 is absorbed by introducing concentrated H2SO4. SO3 is absorbed by putting concentrated H2SO4 and use this H2S2O7. If you see H2, S2 and this 4 and 3 H2, S2S2O7, then followed by when if you treat with water, it gives H2SO4 8. So it balances like this and it gives 2 equivalent of H2SO4. So this is nothing but contact process. Students, today we will discuss physico-chemical principles about the contact process. Physico-chemical principles. Physico-chemical principles for contact process. Students, conversion of SO2 to SO3 is the main step in the contact process in the manufacturing of H2SO4. So physico-chemical principle is discussed in aspect of conversion of SO2 to SO3. So it is 2, this one, this one. What is this 2? 2 as to 1 as 2. This is nothing but the net volume of the reactant and net volume of the product we obtain in the reaction. So if you observe here, this is a reversible reaction. When we react 2 equivalent of SO2 and 1 equivalent of O2 oxygen, it gives 2 equivalent of SO3. So it is nothing but basically reactant is in 3 volume and product we get it's in 2 volume. So students, according to Lee-Chatelain principle, the reaction is favored with according to Lee-Chatelain's principle, the reaction is favored with low temperature, high pressure and high concentration of SO2 and O2, because as I said, in the reaction volume of the product it decreases. So volume of the product decreases means when we increase the concentration of reactant, yield of the product will get increased. So according to Lee-Chatelain's principle, the reaction is favored with low temperature, high pressure and high concentration of oxygen and sulfur dioxide. In that one, first we will discuss effect of temperature on the reaction. I hope students you got the point. We are discussing this reaction because this is the main reaction in the contact process where conversion of SO2 takes place to SO3. So according to Lee-Chapler's principle, the reaction is favored with low temperature, high pressure and increasing concentration or high concentration of sulfur dioxide and oxygen. First we will discuss the effect of catalyst, effect of temperature. We are going to discuss the effect of temperature, effect of catalyst, effect of pressure. The first we will discuss effect of temperature. Student, just as I have summarized here, reaction is favored with low temperature. So increasing temperature decreases the yield of SO3. Increasing temperature decreases the yield of SO3. As temperature increases, the yield of SO3 decreases. You see the table, temperature and yield of SO3. Temperature 434, 500, 550 and 645. If you observe this table, the yield is 99, 93, 85 and 65. As I said just now, as temperature goes on increasing, the yield gets decreases. Fine. It's very simple according to Lee-Chapler's principle. Keep in mind, low temperature, high pressure and increasing concentration of SO2 and O2 increases the yield of SO3. So in that connection, increasing temperature decreases the yield of SO3, and this is the, you can see the yield, how the yield varies with the varies in temperature. As temperature has increased, the yield of SO3 got decreases. Next point, we will see the effect of pressure. Again, increasing pressure according to Lee-Chapler's principle, the yield of SO3 increases with increasing pressure. And third, effect of concentration, increasing concentration of oxygen, increasing concentration of SO2 and O2 increase the yield of SO3. Increasing concentration of SO2 and O2 increases the yield of SO3, because we have seen is that when we take 2 volume of SO2 and 1 volume of oxygen, it gives 2 volume of SO3. Means by reacting 3 volume of oxygen, ultimately the volume of the product get decreases. Ultimately the volume of the SO3 get decreases. So by increasing the concentration of SO2 and O2, we should get the high yield of SO3. And talk catalyst, as I told you at the outset of the class, platinized asbestos and vanadium pentoxide catalyst used in the conversion of SO2 to SO3. So platinized asbestos or vanadium pentoxide is used in the conversion of SO2 to SO3. Students, I hope you understood the whole process of manufacture of sulfuric acid by contact process and the physico-chemical principles involved in the contact process. Now we will see the why vanadium pentoxide catalyst is more superior than the platinized asbestos catalyst. So basically we will see the disadvantages of the disadvantages of the disadvantages of platinized asbestos catalyst. First, it is very costly. It is very costly. It is difficult to handle. Platinized asbestos is costly and it is difficult to handle. It is difficult to handle. It gets poisoned by the presence of arsenic oxide, even arsenic hydride, presence of HF, Cl2 and metal impurities of tin and lead. So it gets this platinized asbestos gets poisoned by the process. Poison means catalyst gets damaged or it's not working properly. So by presence of arsenic oxide, Cl2, tin, lead, even by adding HCl or by presence of arsenic hydride, this metal catalyst gets decomposed or gets poisoned. And because of this impurities present with this catalyst, reacting gases need more purification. Means SO2 gas needs more purification when platinized asbestos catalyst is used in the reaction. So students, I hope you got the whole process of the manufacture of contact process for the sulfuric acid. I hope you enjoyed the whole topic because I recapped it in previous lecture also, this lecture also, and today's lecture we have discussed about the physico-chemical principles involved in the manufacture of sulfuric acid by contact process. And we have seen is that how various parameters affects on the yield and the time of the reaction, such as how temperature gets affect on the yield. We have discussed that as temperature increases, the yield of SO3 decreases, pressure increases, yield decreases, high concentration favors the formation of high concentration of SO2 and O2 favors the formation of sulfur trioxide in high yield. Catalyst, two catalysts is used in the process, platinum asbestos and vanadium pentoxide catalyst, but vanadium pentoxide catalyst is more superior with this aspect because platinum asbestos is very costly, it is difficult to handle, it gets easily poisoned by the presence of arsenic oxide, hydrofluoric acid, Cl2, HCl, tin, lead impurities and even arsenic hydrate impurities. And because of involvement of all these impurities with the platinum asbestos catalyst, it needs more purification. So this process is the process which we are going to study, refining process, manufacture of ammonia and by modified hydrowash process, and the manufacture of nitric acid by Ostwald process and contact process. It is very interesting and I hope you will enjoy it and you will study it with interest. Keep studying, be safe. Thank you.